Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
What up? What up? What up? What up? Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear on a microphone? So, listen, I'm on a USB microphone. I don't even have none of my stuff. Shout out to the Rodecaster Pro for going out on me as well. But we back, y'all. We back with another episode of the Darion Hopkins Show. We are definitely in the building. Make sure y'all pull up. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Had a great weekend with my family over the weekend in New Jersey. If I had to get away, get my mind right, get my mind straight, and finally I had to be around some people that that was really genuine and 15-year celebration with my family. So it was pretty dope. Shout out to them. How was your weekend, Mac? What's going on with you, man?
Oh man, I went and played golf. Shot a 101.
Okay. Shot a one. Okay, 101. I see it.
Mind you, dude, I haven't even been playing golf for a year yet. Like, I don't even think I think I've probably been out there between like 16 to almost 20 times. And I'm already shooting, in the low hundreds. I'm just waiting to break 90. I want to hit like 90 or 89, and I think I'll be happy.
Listen, I know it looks like you kind of got like a tan a little bit too, bro, because I know it's been hot out there playing golf.
No, I played in the rain. It was raining. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like if it would have been a sunny day, your boy would have hit the low 90s.
Oh man. So, but before we get into all the topics that we do have on hand, like I said, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So make sure y'all follow us all there at DhopkinsShow, and make sure y'all go to SeatGeek and use that promo code DHopkins. You get $20 off your first purchase. Right there, if you want to go to Beyonce was just in Philadelphia not too long ago. That was her first stop for the her US tour. She finished her European tour, her overseas tour. So whoever bought purchase tickets, hopefully y'all use the promo code DHopkins. But if not, training camp is around the corner. A lot of things are coming down the pipeline for the NFL. So make sure you want to get your tickets for that. Use DHopkins for that promo code. Crazy weekend. Crazy weekend. The NFL trade deadline has come to fruition with, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley not getting paid. It's a lot to talk about in the NFL, but I want to get into it. The first thing, DeAndre Hopkins signing with the Tennessee Titans. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this first. I want to hear your thoughts on this first, because I would love to. Because I wrote down some notes for it, but I would love to hear your thoughts about him signing a 2-year. Matter of fact, let me tell you the terms of this. By the way, so he gets a 2-year, $26 million deal. Right, it's worth up to $32 million in incentives. Now it says he could earn up an extra $3 million in incentives each year, up to $1 million in bonuses when it comes to available base of his total numbers in reps, yards, and touchdowns. So it says that for receptions, he'll get an extra 250,000 if he gets 65 receptions, 500,000 if he gets 75 receptions, 750,000 if he gets 85 receptions, and 1 million for 95 receptions. For his yards, kind of like the same thing. 250,000 if he gets 750 yards, 500,000 for 850 yards, 750,000 for 950 yards, and $1 million incentives of 1,050 yards.
You know what that says?
What's that say, man?
The market was bare. The market was bare.
I don't understand. I don't understand why it would be bare.
Look, man. Look, I'm just saying, like OBJ got better money.
You think so?
Yeah, like the majority of his contract's guaranteed. He's getting that money.
I mean,
and it's crazy, and it's crazy because D-Hop has been like the most.
He's been better than OBJ in the recent years. Like
other than last year, when has he missed time? When has he not been a top 5 wide receiver since he's been in the league? And the fact that he just got signed for almost I'll say like 75% of what he should have been.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
I think his market would have been better if he didn't have the PED last year that made him miss 9 games.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, but still,
like
you sat there and you made a whole. You sent the message out that you was only going to a contender.
Right.
You telling me Tennessee is contending this year? They're contending for a Super Bowl.
I wouldn't say they contended for a Super Bowl, but I will say it's a possibility they could contend for that division as of right now. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win the division. I still have.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I
just don't. I don't believe in the Texans right now, and I mean,
I like the Colts defense.
Yeah, but I worry about their offense. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's pretty good, but
yeah, I mean,
other than that, I mean.
You have to understand though, the Colts have a good offensive line. They have a good running game, even with a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? Like I just don't even see Tennessee beating the Colts for real. Like it's hard for me. And Variable's on the hot seat, and the whole thing is like he's lost more than he's gained the last 2 years.
Right.
So I mean, it's hard for me to see him even coming close to 8 games, let alone winning more than 8 games.
Now, I threw some things out there when it came to, DeAndre Hopkins and stuff like that. He did. I don't know if you saw it with the tweet that he said too. He did state that I always love having doubters, but haters/doubters, but I appreciate it even more now. Tighten up. Now, my questions that I have for this Tennessee Titans.
Who is hating? Who is doubting DeAndre Hopkins? It don't matter what team you put this man. Like he was just catching the ball from Kyler Murray. Literally anybody, like Sam Howell in Washington, you know what I'm saying, is a more compatible quarterback for him. And that's what I'm saying. For DeAndre Hopkins, it is not on him. It is on the team. And right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to have a problem. I think he'll hit at least 90% on all his you know what I mean, his base stats money.
Right.
At least 90% of that.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It was a great pickup for him. Don't get me wrong. But when we're talking long run, we're talking about, is this the missing piece that pushes it over? They're missing too many pieces to be a real contender.
Now I know they lost, some pivotal offensive linemen as well. I think my only issue offensively is who's going to be the quarterback. And I think that doesn't matter either, because when it comes to DeAndre Hopkins, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He's going to put up numbers. If you look at the best quarterback that he had in his career was Deshaun Watson. Outside of that, he didn't have no great quarterback outside of that. But I still think it's a question there, because you did draft Will Levis in this year's draft. And then on top of that, you draft Malik Willis the year before.
Have you seen any of that tape on him in the Titans practice? It was not looking good.
For Will Levis?
Yeah, it looked bad for like 2 weeks,
Listen,
man.
I've been saying it. I've been saying that he's a scrub. I've been saying it ever since he played at Kentucky. I've been saying that he's a scrub. I've been saying it.
I mean, I'm not saying that you can't work with him and teach him certain shit, but the whole thing is if he can't put it all together within the next 2 years, he ain't got a shot.
Right.
He ain't got a shot.
So, I mean, Ryan Tannehill is definitely not the answer anymore in Tennessee. And then Malik Willis, it might really be his job to lose for real. And I really think Malik Willis brings a dynamic of remind you a little bit of Deshaun Watson when it comes to mobility. I don't know about arm strength, but mobility, you definitely get that out of Malik Willis that you do out of Will Levis and you do out of Ryan Tannehill. So,
I mean, that's the whole thing, though. Like I'll say this: DeAndre Hopkins does fit the Tennessee Titans.
right.
They like to play action. So the whole thing is, if you run a play action and you got DeAndre Hopkins, he's got the Y options. He goes up 10 yards and he can either cut up and keep going, or he can cut in to the field. And you know what I mean? Debating on where the coverage is. And I mean, like literally, that is his bread and butter. That's what I'm saying. Like for him to get his performance, dude, he's gonna get 100, 150 yards a game. He's gonna get at least a touchdown every game. That's almost a lock. So
that's definitely a lock every year. And then now you have a young guy that has a lot of potential in Treylon Burks. I think Burks is just needing that number 2 receiver because they traded AJ Brown and now you're bringing DeAndre Hopkins to help out with Treylon Burks. And Treylon Burks is a pretty good receiver, but he's the only true veteran on that Tennessee Titans outside of bringing in DeAndre Hopkins. I think you bring in some veteran there. Of course, Derrick Henry is going to do what Derrick Henry is going to do. I don't know too much about the Tennessee Titans defense, in my opinion, but for me, I'm going to be completely honest. It would have been a better fit with the New England Patriots, him going there, than being with the Tennessee Titans. And I don't understand how New England drops the ball on this situation because I really feel bad for Mac Jones. You're not helping putting no weapons around that man to actually even help him elevate or have him get better from last season. I don't even know who the receivers are. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster, yes, he had a good, okay year with Kansas City, cool. But who else? That's my only issue with it. Who else would? I feel like the New England Patriots is really setting up Mac Jones to fail. That's just where I'm at with it offensively. I mean, defensively, Patriots is always going to be good. Absolutely, they're always going to be good. But when it comes to,
they got Devontae Parker.
I'm not a big fan.
I mean,
they re-signed him, but is he better than DeAndre Hopkins though? Like
they got Kendrick Bourne, they got Demario Douglas, Trey Nixon, Matthew Slater.
Matthew Slater's more like a special teams type of receiver.
And then they got Keyshawn Boutte. Boutte. I don't know. I guess he looks like a rookie.
Don't know nothing about him.
LSU.
Oh, he was an LSU wide receiver. Oh wow, I don't see it. That I didn't know. But be completely.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got to be a rookie. He's 21.
Oh yeah, he definitely got to be. He definitely got to be a rookie. But I mean, Devontae Parker, if he could put up the numbers that he was when he was in Miami, you might have something. But I don't think that roster is better than it. That wide receiver depth is not. Nobody's better than DeAndre Hopkins on that roster.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't say that.
I think that would have elevated Mac Jones if he would have got DeAndre Hopkins. That's all I'm saying, man.
Okay. I mean, so he had 31 receptions for 539 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like that's mediocre as fuck. But at the same time, now he's got Juju there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got a rookie and a couple young guys there. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is though, Mac Jones also needed to take that step, and he didn't get that second year step like he should have because he had Matt Patricia. So I'm gonna give him the same leniency that I gave what's his name with the Jaguars?
Evan Ingram?
No, the quarterback.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, because he had Urban Myers. You can't count Urban Myers against Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna forget that year. We're gonna forget last year for Mac Jones, and we're going forward. But because of last year, that's why I said Bill Belichick, he should be on the fucking hot seat because of that shit. Like,
yeah,
you're supposed to be one of the greatest coaches ever, and you brought one of your guys back in that you know is a defensive guy for the offense.
right. And then the thing about it, I don't know, and I'm kind of surprised about that because Bill O'Brien was the head coach for DeAndre Hopkins in Houston. I heard that they hashed it out. I heard that they hashed it out. I heard they on good terms, but I mean, offensively is kind of good for Mac Jones because Mac Jones finally got an offensive mind coach that he played with at Alabama. And then it would have been good for DeAndre Hopkins to go there because of the history of them being in Houston. But if it didn't hash out, it's probably the reason why he didn't go to New York.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. I mean, just my personal opinion.
So I mean, we'll see at the end of the year of who has a better who deservedly has a contract, and that will be OBJ or DeAndre Hopkins. But you know, it's good. I think
it's going to be both. I think it's going to be both.
Oh, really?
I feel like OBJ is going to put up about 1,200 yards with about 11 touchdowns.
Okay.
Like I think it's going to be a great comeback year for him. And the whole thing is, again, the contract we offered him is technically a 2-year contract. It's just the option. And the whole thing is, you know, why would he turn down top option money, especially if he's winning with Lamar? So you tell me to get to the AFC Championship, we lose a tough game against, say, Kansas City. All right, man. Now we got to come back. We got to retool for next year. And again, we got the young squad to do it. We've got 3-4 years before it's going to start getting like, okay, we're tapped out. I mean, it is because paying Marlon Humphrey, paying Andrews, paying Lamar, like eventually, you know what I mean? Your wallet starts to get a little thin.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, because eventually more and more guys are going to need to get paid.
Well, we will see what happens when it comes to DeAndre Hopkins in this Tennessee Titans squad. See what he could do.
I think he could have put himself in a better position, though. I really do. I feel like I mean, bro.
I feel like a lot of teams in the NFL could have took the 2-year, $26 million. I thought he was actually for something way more than at least 26 mil. But I mean, $26 million for 2 years. I mean.
I mean, that's essentially $13 million a year. OBJ got essentially $2 million more.
Right.
But the majority of his contract is guaranteed.
And I think if the majority of DeAndre Hopkins' contract is not guaranteed, I think a lot of teams could have went and took that. I mean,
so that's why this contract is so incentive based.
Right.
Is because they were like, well, look, man, you're such a guarantee. We know you're guaranteed to get over 750 yards. That's just the first clip.
Right.
And, like we know you're going to get more than 5 touchdowns. We know you're going to get more than 30 receptions.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and it just goes up from there. So it's just like, look, we know you can do it. We need you to cross these boxes, and bam, we'll kick out all this extra money to you.
Yep.
So it's like I get it, but that's the whole thing. They want reassurances, whereas though the Ravens, we've had no real luck with wide receivers. We either get them on their last leg, or we don't get them at all.
Well, don't that remind you of the Tennessee Titans back in the day, dude, with Randy Moss and Andre Johnson? There's so many receivers that came to Julio Jones. People are thinking wide receivers going to Tennessee is where wide receivers go to die. That's what a lot of people think.
Man, I don't know about that.
I mean, just going off the history of veteran, receivers that went there. I mean, Randy Moss was already at the end of his career. He left. He got traded from Oakland. He was already at the end of his career. Andre Johnson, he was kind of at the tail end of his career too. He did all his numbers in the Texans. Julio Jones, I don't even know why he got traded to the Titans, but this is what the Titans do anyway when it comes to receivers. I think Julio Jones still got a lot left in the tank if he could just stay healthy, but that's another story for another time. But I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is going to be one of those receivers. I just don't think so.
Right. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to wide receivers, the Ravens, okay, and what is it, the last 8 years?
Yeah.
4 wide receivers in the first round. You know how many have been to a Pro Bowl? You know how many? Never. None of them.
It has been a long time since they had a real true number one receiver.
I mean, that's the whole thing. The Ravens have never had a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Right. Absolutely.
But
that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
But here's the one thing we can say: we got 2 Super Bowls. Ain't that crazy?
Listen. You got 2 Super Bowls out of it. And hey, Tennessee, last time y'all had a chance at a Super Bowl, y'all was a in short against the Rams back in the day. So hopefully y'all can try to find some way to get back to that form, but I don't see that happening no time soon. The way the NFL is set up now, I just don't see it. But congratulations to DeAndre Hopkins. You're finally off the board when it comes to free agency, and now we get to see what we can do. But I saw this topic on First Take, and I thought it was pretty interesting because I really want to get my opinion on this one, and that is Dak Prescott, right?
Okay.
And then the question was how far does Dak have to take the Cowboys to remain the starting QB? Now, what I've seen was that in the next 2 years, the last 2 years of his final contract with Dak Prescott is a dead cap hit. So as of right now, when it comes to this year, he gets $27.2 million. And that's a cap hit for 2023. And 2024 is a $59.5 million cap hit, according to the roster management website. So for me, Dak played in 12 games. You know, he had the most interceptions last year. He had a down year. And you don't have Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator anymore. For me, I think the only way he stays as a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, big if, and I feel like I need to put this high expectation because now you have a Brandon Cooks that can separate. Now you have a number 2 for CD Lamb. If it ain't division championship, he got to go. If it ain't the NFC championship, not division, NFC championship, he got to go. Because there's no way you have a top end defense. You have Tony Pollard that's coming off an injury, but he's really good. But now he's on a franchise tag. You still have a good offensive line. You add Brandon Cooks with CD Lamb. Shoemaker has been really good, even though Dalton Schultz exit. I still think when it comes to Dak Prescott, if he don't make it to an NFC championship game, he's gone. I think he's gone. And just looking at the last 4 years before 2022 season, I mean, 2021 he had 4,400 passing yards, 37 TDs and 10 interceptions. 2022, which he broke his foot or broke his ankle, one of those, broke his fibula. He only had 1,856 yards, but that was the injury year. 2019, he had 4,900 passing yards with 30 TDs. Then 2018, you had 3,800 with 22 TDs. And all of those was in the 65 to 68% completion range. And a passer rating between 100 and 96 in the last 4 years. So the numbers are there, right? But now it's time for you to lead them. And my biggest question why I think it might not happen is because of Mike McCarthy calling the plays. Now, we all know in 2018, Mike McCarthy got fired from the Green Bay Packers for being a terrible play caller. Now we're going to see it with the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's NFC championship or he's done. That's me. When it comes to how far that he has to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, I completely agree with you. I don't see any other way.
I know I don't see any other way either. I think the last 2 years, if they do release Dak, it is going to be how can I say it? It's going to hurt them in some ways. But in the same token, now if you do get rid of Dak, what is your options? Now that's another issue. What quarterback you're going to get that could get the Cowboys to the next level? That's my only issue with that. I mean, are you going to go in a draft and get a Caleb Williams? I don't think so. But Mac, you seem like you got something stirring up in the pot, bro. What you got over there?
So So what I've been looking at is, I know it's a long shot. But I think I'm looking at Cowboy history right here. So personally, I would sell Dak Prescott to the highest bidder at the end of this year if he does not.
Okay.
And I would sell him for 2025 first round picks or a first round pick.
Okay, this is getting juicy. What we talking about here? I see.
And the reason why I say 2025 is because I believe that's the year that young Arch Manning is going to come out. And I think the Cowboys go after Arch Manning. And now, granted, he's got to make some bang with the Texans with Texas football. Okay, right. He's got to do well.
Yeah,
but all considering, it would be like, how could you not go after this guy? He's going to college in Texas. He chose Texas. So as the Texas team, as America's team, I just feel like it just seems too practical for it not to happen. And it's like one of those things where you think it in your head, you don't really want to say it. And then when it happens later, you're like, man, I wish I would have said something. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it.
So with Art, what is Archie Manning, if I'm not gonna say it right?
Arch, yeah.
So when it comes to Arch Manning, now you have to understand this, because I love college football. Now, after this season, they won't be in the Big 12 anymore. They'll be going to the SEC, where the competition and the defense is going to be a little bit better. So, I mean, it is a long shot. I get where you're going with it, but I want to see him succeed in the SEC. If he could beat teams, the top teams, like the Alabamas and the Georgias in the SEC, go get him. Go get him. But if he doesn't succeed in that conference, now I know that right now matter of fact, when do he come into being? He's not the Texas quarterback right now, right?
That's what I'm looking at here. I mean, I don't know if he's the starter, but that's where he's at right now.
Okay, so they in the Big 12 for one more year, and now they go to the SEC in 2024. So, yeah, I just want to see when he gets that start and when he gets behind the helm of that office, I definitely will see that, and then I will make my assumption or how I feel about that. But I understand the long shot. I get it.
It's a long shot, but it's been popping up on my radar so much, and it's just like, if this kid pans out the way we think he's going to pan out, I mean, even if at worst he was Eli,
right? Yeah,
that's still a pretty fucking good career considering depending where he goes.
Yeah,
and if he went to the Cowboys, imagine having a quarterback that will succeed in the playoffs. Because that's what the Cowboys have been missing. Tony Romo, he was a good regular season fucking quarterback. He was for years. He was. I give that to him. But the postseason and the playoff time, nah. Now, granted, he doesn't play defense, and a couple of them games were defense. Okay, but there's a few games he could have won.
Yeah,
so,
and I think
I feel the same way about Aaron Rodgers, but the only difference is Aaron Rodgers had that one sweet playoff run.
Yeah, and
I'm telling you, if you take away that Super Bowl run, what is he?
What is he? He's not a Super Bowl championship winning quarterback if he doesn't go on that sweet run.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, it's just like he's had it's just crazy that Aaron Rodgers had better defenses and more weapons around him with the majority of his career for him to complain about weapons and not having enough. And it's just like, what the fuck? Listen to me.
He had enough weapons from Amari Cooper to Dez Bryant. Like, you had the weapons, Dak.
You could have put Andy Dalton with that Green Bay team, and they probably would have won the fucking Super Bowl.
Yo, you talking about the Green Bay team? Yeah.
I mean,
I agree 100%.
They had a phenomenal defense. They had a phenomenal offense. Like, I mean, come on. And that's what I'm saying. Like, with Dak, it's the same fucking thing. Like, okay, you've had good regular seasons, but it doesn't matter about the regular season if you shit the bed in the postseason. If you're not at least making it to the championship, like at least you can say that, and that's why Kyle Shanahan has a fucking job, because he constantly gets to the championship.
Right.
Yes, he really hasn't made it over that hump with the 49ers yet, but he's on the cusp of it, and he's on the cusp of it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So that's why it makes sense for him to be there.
Agreed 100%.
But again, with the Cowboys shit, personally, I think it's the front office fuck ups that's really holding the team back. But at the end of the day, what you had on the field was a good fucking team, and you shit the bed. And mainly it's Dak. Dak, you need to stay healthy, and you need to fucking play. In the playoffs, I don't know. You need to turn it up to fucking 11, bro.
Agree, because it's like every year that Dak Prescott always hurt. It's always something on why he's just never he's always hurt. If he could play a full season, because I mean he did play 12 games last year, but of course due to injuries. But I still feel that Dak Prescott, if you don't get to the NFC Championship, bro, the Cowboys should cut ties with you. Understand you're going to lose that cap hit next season. I understand that, but do you really want to keep dealing with? If you really want to get Dak an extension, knowing that this guy is 2-4 in the playoffs and he has a 30% winning percentage in the playoffs, do you want to give that man an extension? Absolutely not. Not if I'm Jerry Jones, I wouldn't. So, Dak Prescott, yeah, you got some high expectations, bro. You really got some high expectations. But I want to go into, I don't know if anybody saw, but the Madden 24 ratings. Now, every day this week, they're going to do different positions of the top 10 ratings for Madden. And a lot of people say, do they compare them to the regular like the regular top 10s of all times and stuff like that? I'm not going to compare it. I mean, it's Madden. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people play Madden. A lot of people don't. But when it comes to the top 10 wide receivers and the top 10 safeties, they were revealed today. Which one you want to do first? Top 10 safeties, or you want to do top 10 receivers when it comes to the Madden ratings?
We'll do safeties, because fuck the wide receivers, bro. That's why I stopped playing Madden like that, bro. When the fact that when you throw the ball and the cornerbacks and the safeties attack that ball harder than a wide receiver does, and that's his actual job on the video game, and the wide receiver's just running his route like this, just running the route, holding the hands up, and the guy runs right in front of him. He no aggressive, no trying to snatch the ball. Wide receiver don't do shit. Even if you hit the aggressive button on it, he'll still continue to try to run the route and go like that.
Yeah. They'll catch it and then like they just bat it down like it's a block or something every time. That's why I'm nervous of getting the new Madden. But the 10 that they have here for the safety, they do have 20, but I'm not gonna go through all of them. Just go through the 10. Then I'm gonna let you know the 11 through 20. Now the top 10, they have Micah Hyde at 10 with the Buffalo Bills at 89. They have Harrison Smith with the Minnesota Vikings at 90. Jordan Poyer for the Buffalo Bills at 90. Buda Baker at number 7 with the overall of 90. Tyrann Mathieu at number 6 with 91. Jesse Bates III of Atlanta Falcons, formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals, he is at 91. Keon Bayard for the Tennessee Titans, 92 with number 4. Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos at 92. Minkah Fitzpatrick, number 2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers at 93. And Derwin James of the Los Angeles Chargers is at 95 for your safeties.
You're not going to tell me that either one of the Buffalo safeties are better than Marcus Williams.
And Marcus Williams is number 11 on this list at 88.
Sorry, yeah, exactly. That's what it's always certain teams, they got to try to sneak certain players in, and just like Simmons with Denver. Sorry, no.
I mean, Justin Simmons is. I mean, he's really good. Like, I think he's very more underrated center than anything. But from 11 to 12, they had 11 to 20. They had Marcus Williams, 88. They had Jamal Adams from the Seattle Seahawks at 88. Quadre Diggs, which is Trayvon Diggs' brother, which I think that's Quadre Diggs. If I'm not mistaken, or Stephon Diggs. I think they're all brothers, if I'm not mistaken. But they got him at 87 at number 13. Jimmy Ward of the Houston Texans, formerly of the 49ers, at 87. Antoine Winfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, at 87. Telonia Hufanga, for the San Francisco 49ers, number 16 at 86. Kyle Duggar.
He should have been fucking higher, bro. He killed it last year. Like, bro, what?
Yeah.
All right.
They got Eddie Jackson, Javon Holland, and CJ Gardner-Johnson at 8. All that Javon Holland and CJ Gardner-Johnson at 84, Eddie Jackson at 85, which is 2019 and 18, and Kyle Duggar, New England Patriots, at 86.
God damn, man. Kyle Hamilton didn't even crack 85?
That's crazy.
What the fuck? Like, bro had like, he was in Defensive Rookie of the Year talks. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's not even in the top 10. I'm surprised about Jamal Adams. I'm surprised about Jimmy Ward, Hufanga, CJ Gardner-Johnson at 20. I think that's a bit too low for him. I think that's a bit too low for him. I think he should be a little bit closer to that 15 mark than that 20 mark. But what's going on, RQ? You said Jamal Adams went to my high school. No kidding. That's dope, man. That's absolutely dope. But top 10 wide receivers, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if anybody saw these ratings so far, but these are the top 10 Madden 24 wide receiver ratings. Amari Cooper is at number 10 at 91. AJ Brown is at number 9 with 91. Terry McLaurin is at number 8 with 92. DeAndre Hopkins, the new Tennessee Titan, is at 93 at number 7. Jamar Chase, Cincinnati Bengals, at number 6 at 94. Cooper Kupp, number 5 at 96. Stephon Diggs, Buffalo Bills, at 96 at 94. 96 at number 4. I'm sorry. Number 3, Devontae Adams, 97. Tyreek Hill, 98. Justin Jefferson, 99. You quiet on this one, man. You quiet.
I mean, bro, it's just a game of favorites at this point. It's just a game of favorites. Like, the whole thing is like to put Cooper Kupp outside of the top 3. I don't give a shit. That man can run out. He can catch. Like, it's like even since the year they won the Super Bowl, and every year since then, he's put up the same exact fucking production, no matter what. That's why it's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
I mean, I can understand Devontae Adams. I mean, he led the league in touchdowns last year, but I get it. I get it, but I don't know about 81. Right. That was 95. AJ Brown at number 9 on this list is blasphemous.
That'd be like putting Megatron as a 91.
Right. I agree. I mean, I was kind of surprised to see. I think, you know what? I would keep Terry McLaurin at number 8. I'll keep Terry McLaurin at number 8. I think that's kind of like well deserving of him. Amari Cooper, 91. I'm not sure about at him at number 10. I'm not. I mean, he puts up the numbers. You know, when he was with the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, and then he had to struggle with all the Jacoby Brissett until Deshaun Watson gets here. But yeah, Cooper Kupp should have been in the top 3 at least. But if you would have put him in the top 3, who would you have replaced him with? That's the question.
Who'd you say the top 3 was again?
Is Tyreek Hill, Jefferson, and Devontae Adams.
By Tyreek Hill.
I
mean, Tyreek Hill ain't even but
he's a joker of a receiver. Like he does everything. He's not really a pure receiver.
But what I'm saying is, okay, here's the whole thing. if he didn't have as much speed as he had, do you think he'd get the separation because of his footwork and because of his cuts?
I
No.
think I think
And
he
then he
could.
still struggles. He still struggles against big, fast cornerbacks. He
Right.
doesn't. It's not that easy. And then when you double team him and hang a safety low, he also has trouble with that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he can burn your ass if he gets open. But the whole thing is, he's not one of the wide receivers you're going to throw to him no matter what. Single covered, double covered. You're not just going to throw that ball to fucking Tyreek Hill. So yeah, that's an easy one. Boom, knock him down.
Right.
So I mean, fuck. That's what I said. Like it seems like it's just like favorites. Just like I guarantee if you go look at the fucking tight ends, Kelsey's gonna be a fucking 99. They're gonna have Kittle at fucking like 96, and then they'll have fucking Mark Andrews below both of them motherfuckers at like a 94.
Well,
and that's bullshit.
Well, according to tomorrow, they putting the edge rushers and the defensive linemen out. We won't see the tight ends until Thursday. So they're doing the edge. They're doing the edge and defensive linemen on Tuesday. Doing running backs and offensive linemen on Wednesday. Cornerbacks and tight ends on Thursday, and quarterbacks, linebackers, punter, kickers, and fullbacks on Friday. So that's how the list is going all week for each position of Madden 24 ratings here. I just wanted to get that out the way. And talk about the franchise tags. Today is the day that a lot of people could have signed a franchise tag, like Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, and Saquon Barkley. All three did not sign a long-term extension, and all three of them did not sign a franchise tag. So when training camp starts, they will not be fined because they did not sign the franchise tag. Now, I mean, Tony Pollard, I kind of understand, but I think you should have signed your tender because you still have a lot to prove, knowing that you're coming off of a Achilles/ankle injury that set you out the rest of the season. I think that's kind of you should have signed that franchise tag and trying to get a bigger contract out of it. But Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, this is what we was waiting on to see if they would sign their contracts, and the Giants didn't do it for Saquon, and they didn't do it for Josh Jacobs. And now both of them will not be attending training camp until they get a long-term deal. And I want to start with the New York Giants first because you give Daniel Jones, which had a good year last year, not a great year. You give him the damn near the max. And I understand because you want to secure your quarterback, but Saquon Barkley is your most valuable player on this football team. The most, probably bigger than your goddamn quarterback, for real.
Yeah.
So y'all not giving him an extension. I don't know what the numbers are. I understand that Christian McCaffrey set the bar at $16 million guaranteed. You're not going to get that. You're just not. I don't think you're going to get. I don't think you're not going to get that because of they saying the injury history of Saquon Barkley. Can he stay healthy for multiple years? I understand he had a great year last year. They say the same thing for Josh Jacobs. But I just feel like with Saquon Barkley, if it was $14 million, and I don't know if it was the guarantee money or the longevity of the money, I just don't know at this point. But what's your thoughts on Saquon Barkley? Not getting.
Man, pay that motherfucker. What you mean? Like I'm tired of this bullshit. Running backs are literally one of the most pivotal points of fucking offense, and the fact that they get underpaid and it just doesn't make sense, bro. It just don't make sense. Like, bro, without a running game, your offense ain't gonna. It's gonna be one dimensional and it's not gonna work. All you're gonna do is pass. That's fine. That means I'm having three guys at the line. Everybody else drop back and cover.
Right.
Good luck.
Exactly.
Unless you got a Lamar Jackson, them three guys are gonna hold you.
Oh yeah.
And then you're gambling your throwing quarterback. There you go. Like it's so fucking stupid because it's like, yes, everybody, we're moving away from the run. That's the dumbest shit ever. It is, because then like, if a team knows all you're gonna do is fucking pass the ball, then okay, we got 11 guys too. You got one guy sitting there having to throw the fucking ball. That means I got more guys to position themselves to literally play defense,
Right.
to counter anything you're gonna do. I'm already one man up on you, and now you're one dimensional too.
Right. And the same way that you say that about the Giants, I say this about the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm gonna be completely honest, because a lot of you Raiders fans on Twitter don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. This man had 340 fucking carries last year, led the league in rushing. He averaged at least 5 yards of fucking carry even before contact. They have to understand, and this is the problem with the Raiders organization. You overpay players that's out of their fucking prime, and then you undervalue the players that's actually producing. You signed Jacoby Myers to $11 million. That's, I don't know his full contract, but he's getting $11 million guaranteed. So you telling me that Jacoby Myers is worth more than Josh Jacobs, even though Josh Jacobs' franchise tag was at $10 million? He's $1 million more better? You gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm sorry. But this organization, this is what we do. You pay $51 million to Chandler Jones that have not done shit last year. You restructure it, and it still doesn't do nothing to make room to get you Josh Jacobs. And now you have a nerve to say that, oh, we could win without Josh Jacobs. Are you bugging, Raiders fans? Are you bugging? Half of the games that we won last year, it wouldn't have been, if it wasn't for Josh Jacobs, we would have lost. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So please stop that. Stop that. Because y'all saying that, oh, the Raiders will win more than 6 games this year without Josh Jacobs. Prove that to me. I understand Zamir White is a second-year running back out of Georgia. I get it. But you really think
he gonna get you 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns?
Come
that's
on.
what you're gonna need.
Come on. It's going to be a long training camp for the Las Vegas Raiders. And you know why we can't pay Josh Jacobs? Because all those contracts that we still holding on to, that's holding up at least $30 million in our cap space, because all them people that y'all released while they was under contract. And after this year, those contracts get wiped out. So I understand if you want to wait the next season to pay them, I get it. Because we don't have the cap space to do it now. But you better restructure Chandler Jones' contract again. Because that $51 million guaranteed ain't worthy for a freaking Chandler Jones. It's just not. So when it comes to Josh Jacobs and Raiders fans, y'all really have to understand. You have to understand that Josh Jacobs is really valuable. If people fail to realize, when it comes to Jimmy G, he's only great with good tight ends and good running backs. He won an NFC championship game with throwing the ball 10 times and they running the ball 35 fucking times and beat the Green Bay Packers. Hello. But running backs don't matter. Great.
Oh no, I'm right there with you, boss. I'm right there with you.
Like, I played the position before. Like, come on, I understand that they all running backs is going to get hurt. Football players in general is going to get hurt. It's part of the game. Oh, because he's injury prone.
All right, I'm ready for the next topic.
You ready? Cool. Do you want to go into basketball, or you want to go strictly into college football? I want to go.
Oh no, the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs. I want to do the Bulldogs.
Okay. Say no more. We will definitely go into this stuff. But yeah, y'all better running backs matter. That's what I'm gonna make a hashtag say. Our running backs matter. Yeah, I'm gonna make a T-shirt like that. The Georgia Bulldogs. We all know they are a 2-time national champion. We all know that Kirby Smart comes from an Alabama background. Stinson Bennett is no longer there. They lost a lot of people through the NFL draft. Can they make a 3-peat in college football?
They also lost their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, they lost their offensive coordinator too. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
to the Baltimore Ravens.
I totally forgot about that. And can the Georgia Bulldogs make a 3-peat in college football? But if not, who would be that team to knock them off? I would love to hear. What's going on, Real Tagoons TV? What's going on, brother?
So as far as a team to knock them off, I mean, it's too early for me to even say a team that's going to knock them off. But what I do think, I think the change in offensive scheme and offensive coaching is what's not going to let them have a three-peat. I think the offense is what's going to be on the decline this year. Now, the defense is probably still going to be pretty good because they still had some young guys.
Right.
But I think that offense is what takes the hit, especially after, this year. That's why I'm like, I don't think they're going to get that three-peat.
Well, I mean, Kirby Smart was close to getting a three-peat because when he was under the staff of Nick Saban at Alabama, he won 2 at Alabama as an assistant. He could have won 3, but I don't know if you remember the Auburn Alabama game when the guy missed the Alabama kicker missed the field goal, but he was able the runner was able to bring it out, and he ran it all the way back. It upset that whole thing of Alabama going to the national championship that year.
I vaguely
so that would have been that third national. That would have been a three-peat for Alabama. But now Kirby Smart has a chance to do it as a head coach. Now, for me, it's possible, but it really depends on how Alabama looks this year, how the SEC looks this year. USC is going to get a healthy Caleb Williams in the Pac-12 that has a great coach. I keep forgetting his name over at USC. He came over from Oklahoma. I keep forgetting his name, but they have a great building USC. Oregon is still out there. You still have some great college football teams out there that can really compete with Georgia. Now, we all know Alabama is going to be that team that wants Georgia. I mean, Ohio State, their quarterback situation, they're going to have to figure that out. But I think talent-wise, with Marvin Harrison Jr. being there, that's going to be another reason for Ohio State could probably knock them off. But I think Alabama loses one game this season.
Lincoln Riley,
that's what it was. I want to say something else, but I wanted to be wrong. But they're stacked. I understand Real to Goose TV. They're stacked, but I'm not sure of a three-peat either. Because I mean, Lincoln Riley could bring players over to a program, and that's what he did with Caleb Williams when they was at Oklahoma. When Lincoln Riley got the job in USC, that's where Caleb Williams actually went. So I'm looking forward to it. You know what? I'm looking forward to it, but losing your offensive coordinator, Mac, you have a good point there. Let's see what their offense can do without that now, without their offensive.
So, and it's not just Todd Bunkin. It's a couple guys from the staff, 2 defensive assistant coaches left. So there's like a handful of people that are new in the building.
Right.
So now, do I think that in 2 years they couldn't win it again? Yeah, they probably could. But I'm just saying, like, from them losing that many key pieces of the coaching staff and losing a bunch of key pieces from the offense and defense, I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
And you got to think about it too. Like even my Tennessee is going to be in that competition as well. So yeah, Georgia, you got a nice little stacked schedule ahead of you. I cannot wait till August 29th where college football officially starts. I will be doing some games there, especially I'm only doing the top 25 ranking teams. I'm not doing no unranked teams. I'm not doing that. But yeah, Georgia, if you could, I think you'll be the first team in college football to give a repeat, if I'm not mistaken, if you can pull this off. But I think a lot of teams around the nation are preparing for y'all because y'all gonna be hunted now. You're not the hunters, y'all actually being hunted now because y'all couldn't get over that hump to beat Alabama. But now it's about that time. And speaking of Alabama, now we all know Alabama had 2 losses last season. They didn't make the college football playoff. And is Nick Saban's legacy on the line this season? And me personally, absolutely not. I think he's one of the greatest college football players to ever be coaches to ever do it. He won a national championship at LSU. He won multiple national championships at Alabama, even though he didn't ever get a three-peat, but he damn sure got more championships than almost anybody that's probably a coach right now, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think his legacy will be on the line this season. I know he's up there in age. He's about to be 70 years old. I think it's time for him to retire soon and pass the torch probably after a year or two. But legacy, that's a tough word to say. Like I can't say legacy will be on the line this season for what all he's done and how many players he took to the NFL draft. Like shit. Like what? No, I can't say it. Mac, what's your thoughts?
No, the same thing. Like, come on, bro. I mean, literally, other than him going 3 straight years with a goose egg,
yeah,
that's about the only way he could really fuck his career up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. It's fucking Nick Saban we're talking about here. Single-handedly, in my opinion, the greatest college head coach of all time. I'll take Nick Saban coaching college kids any day of the fucking week compared to, I mean, now don't get me wrong, there's a few other coaches that are up there. But for me,
if you want to throw, like, for me, I could throw Beer Bryant, then I could say Beer Bryant did Nick Saban when it comes to Alabama coaches. Because Beer Bryant, listen, he had some good Alabama football teams back in the day. He sure did.
No, I mean, no doubt. But I'm just saying the pipeline that Nick Saban has created from Alabama to the NFL is almost second. For almost 5 fucking years, Alabama had over 10 kids drafted from their school every fucking year.
And most of them was in the top 10.
Yeah. And that's my whole thing is like when you're running that type of program and you're bringing high level kids in and you're coaching them up even more and you're bringing them up. And I mean, like I said, there's no way that you cannot be a bad coach and win and have the success and track record that Nick Saban has. Yes, in the NFL, it didn't work. It didn't work. And you can tell it didn't work. Why? Because he was trying to coach men like kids.
Yeah, he was definitely getting them prepared for the NFL.
And it didn't work. His coaching, I guess you said his coaching strategy just didn't work in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think
it's first class. And when you're talking about college football, it's first class.
Absolutely.
And that's the difference. Like, is he a Hall of Fame NFL coach? Hell no.
Oh,
not even close. No. You know what I mean? He's not even in the top 200. But
yeah,
as far as college coaches, you're not going to tell me he's not top 10. You're not going to tell me he's not top 10 all time.
Oh, he's definitely. For me, for college football, I think he's top 5.
No, I mean, no.
Top 3.
Personally, he's probably my favorite of all time. That's why I would sound like I thought I'd sound a little biased by saying, top 3 or top 5. So I was like,
I would agree with you there due to the fact that he won one. He won one with LSU. He stayed in the SEC and he won one before he went to Miami and became a coach. Came back and did won a national championship. So there's no debate there. He went back to the same conference that he won a championship with LSU and still won multiple championships in the same conference. A lot of coaches in college football can't do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's why, that's why I put him up there, boss. Like shit.
Yeah, he's definitely that guy, but I wouldn't say legacy is on the line this season. I don't see that. I think they will still be a top 5 college football team. They might be in the college football playoff this year. It's a possibility. One thing I can say about, Nick Saban, I can say about Lincoln Riley, I can say about a few other coaches. I mean, even before Pat Fitzgerald got fired from Northwestern with that whole situation, they know how to recruit. And that's what makes them so great. I think with the NFL is a lot more restriction of coaches to try to get players to come to teams than it is with college football, where having kids come out of high school and want to go to these programs. So I think it's a little bit more easier for them to have them come to college, get prepared and prepare them for the NFL. Instead of going to the NFL, you got to think about the business side. You got to think about the contract. You got to think about other stuff to try to get them into your team in the NFL. It's so much more you have to do.
Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta drop this. Like I said, I got it on Instagram. My buddy just shared it to me, but now I'm actually looking it up online. And yes,
what we talking about?
Sports Illustrated just said that we could be in store for a blockbuster trade with Joel Embiid ending up with the Celtics and Jason Tatum.
See, I was just about to get into the Joel Embiid talk.
Ooh. Because I looked at it, then I'm looking here, and I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm like, oh shit.
Wow, listen, that's going to be crazy. But speaking of Joel Embiid, people say that he was trolling. I don't think he was trolling about what he said. He stated that I just want to win a championship, whether it's in Philly or anywhere else. Sixers fans, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't think he was trolling. I think he was telling the absolute honest truth. And people is going to be mad, and Sixers fans going to be mad because they want to hear what they want to hear. But for me, I think Joel Embiid is done with Philadelphia. I think he's completely done. I think he wants to be out of Philadelphia. He wants to go somewhere where he have a chance to compete. And I think you're not putting enough around him to have a chance to compete. I mean, James Harden wants out. I mean, you got a PJ Tucker. You got at least you got a young guy in Tyrese Maxey. I get it. Then you got an overpaid Tobias Harris. This roster is not built for a championship. If you look at the Philadelphia 76ers roster, it's not built. It's not built for them to win now. Especially in the prime years of Joel Embiid, you just do not want to be there. Like when it comes to Philadelphia and itself, me living here, AI didn't get a championship here. There ain't been a championship even before my time. It was back in 82, 83. I wasn't even born yet. So I didn't even see those championships. So Joel Embiid, maybe it's time for you to move on, man. I don't see Philadelphia going out and get anybody to help him compete. Damian Lillard's not coming to Philadelphia. We all know he wants to go to Miami Heat. So
this shit gets even spicier. So they're saying that they could deal Brown and more, right, to Philadelphia to bring Embiid in. And then they could also make a package to try to go get Dame Lillard. And bring Embiid and Lillard to the
Boston
Celtics with Tatum and make their own big three.
The Boston will win the championship if that happens.
Woo! Damn.
Boston will win the championship if that happens. That'll be better than what the Phoenix Suns got. And we're going to get into that Real to Goons TV because I don't know what the Phoenix Suns are doing. I have no clue what they're doing. But yeah, no, I don't like Bo. I like Bobo, but the fact that they traded Cameron Payne to the San Antonio Spurs was messed up. You're losing your bench over and over and over again. I don't mind the Bobo trade. I mean, the Bobo signing, but now you lose another guard in Cameron Payne to the San Antonio Spurs for draft picks. Now that I don't understand. Now you really don't have a goddamn bench. You really don't. Because he was your best guard coming off the bench. You lose Lansdale. He left. He's off the bench. We was one of those guys that we talked about a lot on this show that play hard. Now, who's on the bench? You still got DeAndre Ayton. It's still soft as tissue. Bobo, I'm fine with Bobo. I'm fine with him. But I just don't like the Phoenix Suns bench at this point. They was talking about John Wall.
Now see. That would be solid. That would be solid. Because John Wall's best years are far behind him.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's decent on defense, and he can definitely still handle the ball and facilitate.
Right.
Now he ain't got that burst to get to the rim like he used to. But if you give him the opportunity to make you look foolish, he will.
I think he can still shoot the basketball well too, mid-range wise. So.
Dude, he was always clutch mid-range.
Yeah. I think
as a Wizards fan, I love John Wall.
Injuries hinder him really bad. That's the only thing I can say about that.
Yep, RC, they sure did. They said Bradley Beal's going to run the point, which, in my opinion, is nuts. But what that means is he's there as a reassurance bucket. Right. That's what he is. He's going to facilitate, and Bradley Beal can facilitate. Let's not act like he can't. But would I want him running the point if I had to? No, because he's too good of a spot-up shooter. But now you have the option where he can go down, he can facilitate, pass out, find his spot, sit there, set up, wait, somebody pitches out, he's open, swish. There you go. So, I mean, it can work in certain instances. Yeah. I'm not going to say it can't. But to me, I feel like that's kind of a waste because you know what I mean. Like you're given the opportunity where now he's going to get, instead of being able to take 20 some shots a game, he's only going to get around 16 to 18 shots a game.
But going back to the Philadelphia 76ers, bro, like, is it time for Embiid to move on? Is it that time?
Yeah, I mean, I would, especially if you have the opportunity to go to a championship level team.
Right. So
Like,
if it was that one team that he would go to outside of the whole rumor that you heard about from Boston, outside of Boston, what other team that you could see him going to contend for a championship?
So I'll say the unpopular opinion.
Go ahead.
The Lakers.
Ooh. Who you trade? Anthony Davis for Joel Embiid?
Mm-hmm.
Sixers fans ain't gonna like that at all. They hate Anthony Davis in Philly.
I mean, maybe not even for Embiid. Like you could package up Vanderbilt.
Oh, I don't see that.
You package Vanderbilt and a couple other guys. You know what I mean? Who was that young kid that had that one real good game? I mean,
Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, like I mean, you could get a nice little bench out of that and a bunch of picks. Like I wouldn't say the 76ers would come up, but the 76ers could definitely get value. The problem is like now you're past free agency.
Yeah.
So now it's like any team that's going to trade with you is going to trade for one or two things. They're either going to give you way less value or it's literally you just trying to dump that salary now because that guy doesn't want to be there. So any contending team knows, like, hey, I'm not going to give you fair value for this trade because I don't have the cap space for it. But books, I'll take all of his money off your books and put them on my books. But I'm not giving you face value. And that's what I think is what's going to happen with Embiid. So hopefully they trade him with the right team that they can get a lot of nice young guys to where in 2 years they could have a nice little squad.
Now with RC Talk saying that, I can't see Embiid asking out like another superstar though, D-Hop. He needs to ask out if they failed to reach the finals this year. I'm sorry, enough is enough.
Didn't he already ask out?
I mean, I
thought that's what he said.
That from what the quote stated, the stated said, I just want to win a championship, whether it's in Philly or anywhere else. That's exactly what the quote
I mean, that's
right.
Dry to me.
Yeah, it's really kind of cut and dry. And I feel like he will not reach an Eastern Conference Finals with this 76ers team. Second round, and that's it. Second round,
you didn't get nobody.
The Sixers, they do nothing. I mean, they went. The only reason why the 76ers have James Harden because they wanted to get rid of Ben Simmons. That was it. They didn't really want to go get James Harden. They just put a package together to get rid of Ben Simmons. And the best person to go get was James Harden at the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, and for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if they move Embiid, they can start fresh with Nick Nurse. And honestly, I think that's what they should do. That's what Embiid deserves, and that's what the 76ers should give him. They should do right by him like he's done right by them. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, I would if I could. Like, bro, I would deal Embiid to the fucking Nuggets. Jokic, you play the 4, Embiid, you're big boss. Number 5. Whew, could you imagine that tandem? The real twin motherfucking towers. They would be crashing and banging everything.
Okay.
I can dream.
Yeah, you can dream. If this happens that Joel Embiid goes to the Boston Celtics, that would be crazy. That you know how happy you would be, man. I know that's your second team and all, but I know you would be ecstatic about that.
I mean, yes and no. Because the whole thing is just like, what are you doing with Porzingis? What are you doing? Is White going to? But I mean, who's all in these packages and what's left? That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Like, if we're pretty much, it's just the big three and like one other guy, we're in trouble. But if they somehow can keep like Derek White and they can keep Porzingis, and then you put an Embiid in there, and you got a Tatum, and of course, Brown's gone. The you have the bench and most of the summer league guys, which wasn't bad.
Which wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, Hauser, and them guys like, and again, you still have Pritchard. So you have guards. You have a backup wing guy that can play. You got the young guys that are coming in. And again, you have Embiid and Porzingis down top. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, man. 2 7-footers in the paint. That's a long night. That's a long night for anybody.
Embiid, you stirred the pot today, brother. You have stirred the pot today, man. Listen,
he's top 10 in searches right now.
Well, indeed. Listen. As long as he's being honest about it, if it's in Philly, it's in Philly. If it's not, it's not. At the end of the day, he's letting it be known. If I ain't winning one in Philly, I'm definitely going to go somewhere else. Basically, so.
Oh, it's another good spot that I wouldn't mind seeing is like Golden State. Imagine Golden State with a true center.
So we definitely about to get into that as well. RC talks, but him going to the Warriors, that would be nasty for the Western Conference. And you're getting a Joel Embiid kind of like Mama say in his prime at that. So.
Well, that's why I said the Lakers, because I mean I think it just that shit would be scary.
And the way the Lakers did and for what they did in free agency, I will be impressed if they could pull off a Joel Embiid.
But another team that might be a dark horse, but might not be.
Who?
I'm sitting here because I'm looking. L.A. The Clippers. Because the Clippers have a few assets to move around, and I know they're going to.
Yeah, they got Zubac at center.
Now I'll say this: the obvious answer is Miami.
Yeah, the obvious answer, basically.
That's the obvious answer. But I did want to touch on that because I'm just telling you, if you could put Jimmy Butler, right, and you could put Bam, and you could put Embiid, it don't matter who you got in that fucking guard. Like, it don't even matter. And the whole thing is you wouldn't even have to get rid of Tyler Hero to get Embiid.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have to give up that
But
much.
If you put Tyler Hero and Tyrese Maxey in a backcourt,
now what you would have to do is you would have to give up Caleb Martin and probably something else for sure. Yeah. But you wouldn't have to go as far as Tyler Hero, as far as getting Embiid if he wants out.
I like that.
Now again, that's if he wants out. That's if he says I want out, because then it becomes the 76ers problem, because now you have James Harden and you have Embiid that want out. So now you have a big problem. So now you're just trying to recoup what you can get versus, I'm selling to the highest bidder.
Right.
Because you're not bidding, you're selling. That's the difference.
So we gonna get into a little bit of the summer league. I know I've been watching it and not really be able to do the play-by-play, but we do have the play-by-play and reactions tonight of the summer league championship with the 5-0 Cleveland Cavaliers against the 5-0 Houston Rockets. I think that's gonna be a really, really good game. But the biggest winners
I think the Rockets gonna take it.
No, listen, we gonna talk about those winners and losers right now of the summer league. And my according to Greg Swartz of the Bleacher Report on Twitter, but I kind of agree with some of these. The first 5 that they have for as far as like the winners go, they got Amani Bates from the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're stating that the challenge of the top-heavy Cleveland Cavaliers team was no first-round picks, left to trade for a roster push-up, and against the luxury tax, found the development to young talent. If this summer was any indication of that, Cleveland is on the right path. Now, Bates showed off his shot-making ability in drilling 41% of his threes, averages 16.8 points, 6.2 rebounds, as a 6'9" forward showed flashes of being an elite scorer. So, if Bates could come close to reaching a sky-high potential, Cleveland could have a steal in the draft. He said he's after going undrafted out of Wichita State. They talking about Craig Porter Jr. and Isaiah Mobley, averaging 12.8 points, 7 rebounds, and 4.8 assists while shooting 48.2% overall. Mobley is the older brother of the teammate Evan Mobley, which is off his versatile game of putting up 15.8 points a game, 7.8 rebounds, and 4.8 assists and 1.5 blocks. He's just talking about a few people here from Cleveland. Like Sam Merrill made his case to crack the NBA rotation with his 3-point shooting, knocking down 4.8 triples per game, shooting 43.2% shooting, while leading the Cleveland Cavaliers to 18.8 points in the 4 games that he played. So Cleveland Cavaliers right now are undefeated, and they have a lot of potential with Garland, Mitchell, Allen, and Evan Mobley this year with these young guys playing in the summer league. So I thought it was pretty impressive this year.
I just bet on the Rockets.
Oh, you just threw a bet up there?
Yeah, so I bet the Rockets, I bet Minnesota, and the Yankees. 3 underdogs.
So the losers that they have on here is the Atlanta Hawks. They got the Atlanta Hawks as the losers here.
Yeah. I mean, we all thought they was going to come in here and do something.
Yeah, I mean, according to what they're saying here, AJ Griffin and rookie Kobe Burford were a little bit underwhelming. He was averaging 4.5 turnovers a game, 3.4 fouls per game. Kobe Burford needs to settle down a little, according to what it says here. Personnel member told Spot Track that it will come for him, but they don't have deep ball handlers. And Birkin only shot 33.3% from the field and a miserable 13.8% from the 3. He was the 15th overall pick in this draft. And Griffin was the number 16th overall pick in this draft. In 2022, I'm sorry. In 2022, he was supposed to be the alpha of the group in his strong rookie season. And he only had 9 points average and 27.3% overall in this summer league. Very underwhelming. I thought they would have played better from the games that I watched.
So I'm gonna name a team like the Grizzlies. That was another team that I thought was super underwhelming. Like I thought they were, they need to have a good summer league, and yeah, that was disappointing.
I think another winner.
Las Vegas odds. Like I've bet the whole summer league. And Minnesota, the Memphis Grizzlies were favorites in a lot of their matchups.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Brandon Miller. I think they on here. Hey Terry T, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a long time in here. What's going on, Terry T? What's going on? But the next winner that I have personally, and I always said this, I think we talked about it, but I like OKC in this summer league. I really love what the Oklahoma City Thunder has done. Chet Holmgren looks healthy. He playing well. And he averaged 20.5 points a game, shooting 56% from the field with 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal in the summer league. And I think he really needed that after coming off of a broken foot. I love this kid. I really do. And, it shows the immediate candidate for all defensive team, 3.5 blocks per game. A little bit better than Victor Wembanyama. And Amen Thompson, who contested everything at the rim. His teammate Osame Dang, if I said his name right, is why his OKC gave up 3 first-round picks to trade up for him last season, averaged 15 points a game in the summer league, 5.5, almost 6 rebounds with 5.8, 5 assists, and a 0.8 of a steal in 3 games while knocking down 36% of his threes. They have a few people: Carson Wallace, Jalen Williams, Trey Mann, Keontae Johnson, and they play really well in this summer league. They play really well. I really like the potential for OKC. What's your thoughts on them?
I mean, I think OKC is going to be one of them teams that wind up sneaking in
into the playoffs or the play-in.
Play in, and I think they get it to the playoffs. I think that's their ticket into the playoffs, and I feel like they're going to have a real Miami vibe this year.
And you know what? They could have did it last year. They was in the play-in last year. I think they take it a step higher.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I said, like, man, what they got going on is, possibly the beginning of something special. And that's why I like they were underdog last year, and now this year I think they're not getting the respect that's due, and a lot of people are going to sleep on them, and they're going to find out the hard way.
Absolutely, but of course he wants to get into it. Real Tagoons TV about Brandon Miller and my loser, and I have to agree with Bleacher Report as well. The Charlotte Hornets. I only see one good game out of Brandon Miller this whole time, and that when he played against Victor Wembanyama against the San Antonio Spurs, he showed out for that, and after that he was non-existent. For me, and Bug probably would have said the same thing. They're not playing him right. But Miller has some good stretches. He shot only 35.4% overall, and only 26.1% from the three in his 3 games, which all was in a Charlotte Hornets loss, if you want to say. He struggled with foul trouble because, mind you, you get more fouls. You get more than 6 fouls in the summer league than you do in the NBA. In a regular NBA game, he had 4.7 fouls per game. You're being too handsy on the defensive side, bro. You're being too handsy at that point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it though, because I mean, if you know you got those fouls, you can play with a little more intensity. And I think that's pretty much all that was. I think, not to read into it a little too much, but I think that's what it is, because I mean, me personally, I'm definitely a guy that's going to give you some tough fouls. So if I know I can get away with fouling you a few extra times, and I can get away with, I'm going to reach a little more. I'm going to play a little more aggressively on defense. So that I'm not too worried about. But the offensive output is really what's glaring to me, because it's like, bro, you get picked at that position, and you
gotta excel. You gotta play up to your potential. You're the number 2 overall pick coming out of Alabama, and his other players on this team from the Charlotte Hornets outplayed you. I mean, James, I'm gonna just call him James Knight, because Bo Knight, I can never pronounce his name. He's headed into his 3rd season. He had a 28-point game against the New Orleans Pelicans that helped him salvage his overall stat line. He was the 11th overall pick in the 2021 draft. He managed to have 13.5 points in the 4 games, shooting 38.2 overall, but 27.6 from the 3, but showed a little interest in being involved after shooting literally at 35.3% in his first 2 NBA seasons. So, I mean, players like Nick Smith Jr., Kai Jones, they show promise. I mean, Kai Jones, the dunk over Wembanyama, on the alley-oop, that was insane. But yeah, they definitely are a loser here. And Brandon Miller, if you really want to get into the NBA, bro, you're going to have to step up. If you couldn't play the way you played against the summer league players, how you going to think you're going to come in and play against the actual real deal players in the NBA? You're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. So, in my last winner that I have, and of course, the Houston Rockets with Jabari Smith Jr. These guys, they got us. Listen, I'm so happy that the Houston Rockets didn't go after James Harden. I'm just so happy they didn't, because I think this team is already set, in my opinion.
I'll be right back.
I feel like this team is already set, y'all, because listen, while he played in only 2 summer games, Jabari Smith, the number 3 overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft, was arguably the best player in Las Vegas, even over Victor Wembanyama. Like, that's crazy. It's crazy to me. He averaged his 35.5 points a game, easily led all scorers with a 9.7 point lead over Orlando, or led over the second place Orlando Robinson of the Miami Heat. After a modest first half, in the first game, he only scored 4 points, and Smith was unstoppable in the final 6 quarters of play. This guy was balling, man. Houston has a very good basketball team. Jabari Smith is 6'11 with a frame of 7'2. Wingspan, where you fully display that he can shoot over top of any defender in the league. And he showed a little bit of everything. And I'm kind of happy that he was the number 3 overall pick. And even though that his rookie year was last year. What's going on, U-Haul? What's going on? His rookie year was last year, but he decided to come play in the summer league again this year to improve his game. And that's what I love about it, because just because that you're number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, it doesn't matter to me if you wherever you get drafted at, especially if it's the year before you still want to come back and play in the summer league. That gives me a lot of respect to you. So he had a game winning 3 against the Portland Trailblazers with 0.6 points left. Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, you signed Fred VanVleet. People had something to say about Dylan Brooks, which I'm not a big fan of Dylan Brooks. I'm just not. Okay, he's all good, RC. It's all good. I'm not a big fan of him, but you bring it to that with Cam Whitmore, Tari Easton, what's the guy's name? I think it's Amen Thompson, if I'm not mistaken, or it's one of the brothers that's in Houston. But I love what this Houston Rockets roster look like. Jabari Smith ate big time. You in Houston tonight, game hop? Yes, I am. I will be doing the championship game tonight. I think Amani Bates and Evan Mobley's brother is going to be there. Brooks went to China. See, I'm not trying to do all that, man. I'm not trying to do all that. I really love what these Houston Rockets look like. I think they're going to be very, very good. If they could keep the Cam Whitmore, if they could keep Jalen Green and Jabari Smith and Amen Thompson, if you could go get these guys, y'all, keep these guys around for a long period of time, but you may Udoka as your head coach, you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me a damn thing about this Houston Rockets team. Ime Udoka is going to have these guys playing, having fun, and you have to look out for the Rockets in the Western Conference. I think they would not be a bad team. I just don't think so. I don't think they'll be a bad team. But Jabari Smith averaging 35 points per game to lead all scorers in the summer league. And that's what he got, a Jabari Smith card. See? There you go.
It's a sweater card.
Well, it's a sweater card. Oh, see, that's different. That's different, man. But I said what I had to say with this squad, man. You sign a Fred VanVleet as veteran, for a veteran. Then you go get a Dylan Brooks as a veteran. You got Jalen Green. You got Jabari Smith. You got what I think is Amen or Asor. One of them is one of the Thompson brothers are there. But this team, Cam Whitmore, like this Houston team, I'm happy they didn't go after James Harden. I'm so happy they did. But what are your thoughts about these Houston Rockets right now?
That's why I had to go grab the card, because I was like, I got his rookie sweater card, bro. He's showing out in the summer league. Now I'm gonna have to send this off to PSA.
See, so RC Talk said that Trey Man, Jabari Smith desired to improve big time by coming back to the summer league. They look like they're ready for next season. And that's what I was saying while you was gone, Mac. That I was saying that Jabari Smith, even though that he was the number 3 overall pick last year, he didn't take his okay, I'm the number 3 overall pick. I don't need to go back into the summer league. No, he went to the summer league to improve from what he did last year to make himself better for this year. And I love the fact that when you are a top pick in the league, and you feel like your next year, if you feel like you didn't do your best or you feel like you need to develop, go to summer league and get some of that work in. And that's what I love about players like that, You are? Because you got quiet on me real quick, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my wife was talking to me.
Oh, hello, wife. How you doing?
She done ran back down the steps.
Okay. Listen, as long as she replay this, hello, how you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I really like what Houston does. I've been watching their games, and I listen. That's why I see why you picked them tonight. I see why you picked them tonight.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Cleveland ain't to be slept on for real. But I think Detroit's just gonna give them a little too much. And shout out to the Pistons. The Pistons did really well too. And I'm just, bro, Monty Williams is going, bro, the next 3 years is going to be exciting in Detroit. I'm telling the simple fact is, like, bro, this team is going to help elevate this motherfucking city. Like, you're going to see Detroit back to how Detroit was in the early 2000s.
And that's how I feel about with Houston, with, you know, Ime Udoka. He's going to come in and have these guys playing it. And I feel like that Monty Williams is going to do the same thing for Detroit. So don't sleep on these two teams coming up when the season starts.
Udoka, wasn't he the Celtics coach? Is that the same guy, or am I tripping? Yeah,
Udoka was the Celtics coach. Now he's the Houston Rockets coach.
Okay, we'll see.
That's the same coach that took the Celtics to the finals, though, bro. Come on.
But did he win?
I mean, it's the Golden State Warriors.
But did he win? LeBron's been to a shit ton of finals.
I mean, I don't even want to get into that talk. I don't even want to get into that LeBron Jordan talk. You know, all I gotta say is 6-0. But I get it. But
Whitmore's got a little Carmelo.
I think Whitmore got a better defense than Carmelo. That's the difference in that one. Well, Carmelo, he had a little bit more defense.
I watched this video a couple days ago, and they was asking kids, like, who's Melo? And these little fuckers kept saying LaMelo Ball. I was like, son of a bitch. I'm like, Melo. There's only one Melo, man. That like, come on, man. Carmelo motherfucking Anthony. And it's crazy. That's crazy. But I'll tell you what, though. All the good hooping kids, all the kids that were sitting there doing, you know what I mean, dribbling during that practice and shit when they was asking the kids, all the ones that you could tell could hoop, all of them say Carmelo Anthony. Now, mind you, there's only 4 of them, but how many ballers can you expect to be in one gymnasium full of kids?
Amani Bates looked like a steal. He does look like a steal. I watched him play this year in the summer league, and he's been playing very well.
That was Boog's guy. That was the guy Boog called out.
Yeah.
He kept talking about him during the draft, and then he got drafted, and he was like, yeah. And he did. He turned out to be pretty damn fucking good.
So I got some screenshots here from Twitter of what Josh Jacobs was saying. I guess my guy Kenny King Jr., he's a Raiders YouTuber. Josh Jacobs actually replied to Kenny King Jr., said, we never, because I think he put in, I remember the tweet. He said something about the Raiders was not trying to reset the market for, they wasn't trying to reset the market for Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs replied and said, we never tried to reset the market. And then somebody else replied and said, I could imagine being upset about 10 million. I saw that Le'Veon apologized to all the Steelers fans for leaving, ruined his own career. And then Kenny King Jr. says it's not about the money, it's about the security. Then Josh Jacobs said that's exactly what it's about. It's not about the money, it's about the security.
Yeah, no, I mean, come on, man. You putting your physical body and mind on the gamble. Let's be honest here, it's the NFL. At any given snap, you can get hit the wrong way and never walk again.
Right.
You can die on the field. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? So for these guys, yes, they get paid millions of dollars, but look what they put themselves through. Right. And you can do, and there's enough behind the scene footage now that you can actually see what these motherfuckers go through. Where they play their ass off on Sunday, but then you look at it and see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they have to go through so much physical fucking therapy, and then fucking Thursday, Friday, they got to do workouts, they got to do walkthroughs, they got to do film study, they got to do game plan, and then it leads up to Saturday, finally having Saturday off just to do it all over a fucking game.
Yeah.
And they have to do that shit for a 16-week cycle. And then imagine on the short weeks when they got to play on Thursdays or when they got to play on Mondays. So, I mean, that's my whole thing is a lot of people are like, oh, man, they're overpaid. Nah, bro, if you were that physically gifted, you deserve to make that kind of money for what you're putting your body through.
Exactly. And I just really hope that these guys get the contracts that they need. I'm looking forward to the NBA season now with all these young guys coming in watching the summer league. I'm very excited about that. Training camp is around the corner for the NFL. Postseason real soon. I mean, a couple more months into the to Major League Baseball getting into their postseason run. They had their All-Star game, and they had the home run derby. I didn't get a chance to watch that, but I don't know if y'all saw the community post, but I will be live majority of this week with play-by-plays and reactions and stuff of that nature. But I will be, we will be back Wednesday for another episode of the Darion Hopkins Show. So we'll definitely be in the building for that. Mac, any final words before we head out of here, brother?
No, man, that was a good Monday, bro. It's been a good Monday.
It's been a great Monday, man. I'm still kind of exhausted from weekend festivities because I was in North Jersey from Thursday to Sunday, and it was just a long ass weekend, but it was worth it.
For me, I have a 1 day weekend. You know what I mean? Because I work Saturday,
right?
So it's like Sunday's my only day off, and like I said, getting to play golf that's freaking a huge stress reliever, and then to come home and take a 2-3 hour nap, wake up, eat dinner with the family, and then go right back to sleep. You know what I mean? Like it is. I sleep I try to sleep most of my day off to try to catch up for all the other days of the week where it falls short a little bit. But nah, man. When's the next time we're doing this? Wednesday?
Yeah, we'll be back Wednesday. We'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, until further notice. Because I might be double booked on Wednesday because tomorrow I have to go downtown to the court and get some things done. So, and I got to do that around 2:00. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in there because it's City Hall we talking about. So it's City Hall what you talking about. When you going with city stuff and getting certain documents, it could be an all day thing. So I'll be back. We'll be back Wednesday for more topics. Hopefully trivia this time. I totally forgot to tell you about the trivia.
Oh yeah, I'll pull up some trivia. No problem.
Okay. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will be back live at 9:00 for the NBA Summer League Championship. Finally, I'm able to do a Summer League game. This July has been a crazy, crazy month. I'm back with a USB microphone. Hopefully, I get everything back up and running the way it is. Actually, it looks good to what I have now, but hey.
I mean, bro, I'm just telling you, you sound fine. Like, you sound absolutely fine.
Even with the USB mic?
Yeah.
I mean, I just spent so much money for this shit to break down.
And I'll be honest with you, like when you breathe, your other mic, like I can hear when you breathe sometimes when you get close to the mic.
Mm-hmm.
With this one, I can't. Like even when you get close to it, you can't really hear that sound. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I mean, personally, it's not a bad mic. Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Oh, you're so late, bro. You're so late. I'm hearing your thoughts on the Raiders news today. Josh Jacobs, your thoughts. Just pay the man. I'm sorry, just pay the man. With even with the injuries that he had, without the injuries that he has, the guy is very valuable to your offense.
Trade him then. Trade him and get the pieces you need on defense.
If that's the case.
Do so. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many options. You don't just have to let him sit there and not play. Fuck it, fine. Who wants to trade for Jacobs? All right, we need a defensive tackle and we need a linebacker. Oh, guess what? Hey, Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, see, there, I knew you was gonna go there. I knew you was gonna go there.
Listen to me, Patrick Queen, right? And then you get Tyrus Jones in the middle of your defense. And guess what? And you could possibly say like a Pepe Williams as a cornerback. And all three of them are young, good fucking defenders. And you just upgraded every level of your defense.
But now we got to rely on a second-year running back from Georgia named Zamir White.
I mean, apparently that's what they was gambling on doing anyway. So fuck it. I mean, hold on. And then let's not forget. They went on the biggest gamble. How do you go from Derek Carr to Jimmy Garoppolo? So that right there is even bigger gamble. So fuck it. If you're gonna gamble with Jimmy Garoppolo, gamble with the second-year running back too. Fuck it.
And I just
send Jacobs somewhere where they gonna pay him and value him.
Facts. I mean, the Raiders, just do your job. Try to find a way to give him 11 million, 12 million guaranteed. He already said it on Twitter. It's not about the money, it's about the security. And that's all. And Earl Thomas went through that in Seattle. Remember that? Earl Thomas went through that. It's not about the money, it's about the security. He wanted to make sure that he secure his future at the end of the day. So
running back for the Rams.
The running back for the Rams. You talking about
Cam Akers?
Todd Gurley?
No, Cam Akers. That's who I was thinking.
Oh, Cam Akers. Okay.
So damn, yeah. Ooh.
Garoppolo, wasn't he on the other team across the bay? Yes, he was on the San Francisco 49ers, and he had good running backs there, and he had good tight ends there.
Ooh.
That's what makes Jimmy Garoppolo successful.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, but the whole thing is, again, like, he had a couple chances where he could have made playoff runs on his own,
right?
But it didn't happen. So that's why, I mean, me personally, I know Jimmy Garoppolo can win, but can he consistently win?
That's my biggest question, right?
And then again, like the whole thing is, your offense. I'm not even that worried about your offense. Let's be honest here. Like your team is okay at every level on offense. The defense is what worries me because you've got four players. You've got 4 players to cover 11 spots.
Right,
and that's what concerns me. Now, I'm not saying none of the young guys you drafted can't step in and play good. I'm just saying, like, if you could go pick up 2 or 3 key defensive veterans, or mainstays, younger guys, I think it would be all the difference for the Raiders.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, and I cannot wait for the Nothing But Raiders podcast so I could break this down to them and how I feel about it. But it is what it is. I mean, hopefully he doesn't hold out that long until he get what he wants. And we'll just go from there. But before we head out,
I'm just gonna say this last thing about Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
I think they offered him like a 4-year deal with $11 million a year guaranteed. I think he'd sign it tomorrow.
I agree. I think he was more than what the franchise.
If you're gonna underpay me, at least guarantee that shit.
Oh, the Nothing But Raiders podcast will be Wednesday, not tomorrow, because I got some stuff to do in downtown Philly at the courthouse. So I will definitely be doing the Nothing But Raiders podcast tomorrow night after I do the Darion Hopkins show on Wednesday. So after the Darion Hopkins show, then I'll come over and do Nothing But Raiders because I have to move it to Wednesday due to some city hall stuff that I have to do downtown Philly. But make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitch. We're trying to grow a following on Twitch at Hopkins Show. We're trying to grow the following on Facebook, which is at the Darion Hopkins Sports Show. Same thing on Twitter at Hopkins Show. Make sure y'all check out all of that there. Make sure y'all check out our SeatGeek.com and check out Bet Us. The link is in the description for all your sports betting and everything of that nature. $20 off your first purchase for SeatGeek. So make sure you go to live events, concerts, sporting events, anything that you want to do there. And we're out of here, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings. Everybody have a great Monday night. And I will see y'all at 9 o'clock for the NBA Summer League Championship. We out of here, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings. And we're out.